We started out the night before our official day, checking out the Fort Wilderness Lodge. As you can see here, this place is humongous. It looks big from the outside, but the inside looks even more grand. It's just miles high. Everything is so detailed, decorated down to a T, and just absolutely beautiful. As for our first official day, we went over to the Polynesian. Again, a great resort. Of course, we had to take a picture in their lobby before heading upstairs to catch the monorail. This is another great resort. It's beautiful. There's detail everywhere. Everything ties into a theme. Just great. I would love to stay there. But again, we did hop on the monorail. This monorail system is probably one of my top favorite ways of travel while in Disney. I absolutely love Disney transportation. You have a few options, be it the monorail, buses, boats, the gondolas, depending on where you're going and where you're coming from. But for this day, we again went to the Polynesian, hooked the monorail, and just kind of resort hopped a little bit. So, our first stop after leaving is going to be the Grand Floridian Resort. And let me just say, that resort is amazing. It is grand. It's everything you think it's going to be and so much more. It's just a hop, skip, and jump from the Polynesian. One thing about this monorail system, you will see how close these resorts are to each other and how close they are in regard to the Magic Kingdom. So back to the Grand Floridian. This resort, it gives me Mary Poppins vibes. You know, kind of old school Victorian grandness. This is the sort of place where you feel like you need to be on your best behavior. You need to be dressed well. You need to present well. All of your I's need to be dotted. All your T's need to be crossed. You need to be on the up and up. It's just, do you see this? Do you see this entrance here? That chandelier alone is just stunning. But the railing work, all of the white brightness here. Yep, do you see that little gingerbread house? Don't worry, we're gonna get closer. But look at this grandness. Usually there's somebody playing the piano down there in the lobby. Look at that. Just absolutely stunning. This gives kind of, that grandness that like the Titanic had. They do have a gift shop right as you go in to the right once you get off the monorail. I feel like part of their theming here is that less is more. They're not trying to jam pack everything into their store. It's all spaced out nicely. There are just a few of each thing laid out. It's well organized. Everything just kind of has its place here. Almost like a playroom, if you will. And then look at these dolls. I know I don't get the greatest shots of them, but these dolls, if you're a collector, these dolls are amazing. These aren't ones that you're going to want to take out and play with. You might, but for me, I would not. And then look at this carpet. This carpet just looks so inviting to me. Now, it's not carpet that I would want in my house. It just looks so soft and so cozy. And did anybody want to just sit in that windowsill? No, just me? Yeah, I gotta say, I really wanted to so bad. And then check out their elevator. Their elevator, it's not all glass. Again, it has that kind of caging in it. And then look at these floors. These like grand marble granite kind of floors. Stunning. But here we are in the elevator again. You have this ironwork with the glass. It matches everything in the lobby. We're going to make a quick stop into another little gift shop. This kind of reminded me of like a high-end country club or golf club sort of situation where they didn't have very much, but what they did have was pretty pricey. You could smell that. Guerlain. They did have some Guerlain perfumes in here, which made this entire shop smell divine. But again, they were very selective, almost like a golf club. This robe Oh, it was so soft. It was like butter. You just want to sit in it all day long. I could have just lived in that thing. So it's probably a good thing I didn't get it. We're now making our way over to the gingerbread house. And here, look at little Chip on the floor. I honestly can say I did not even see him in the moment. But look at this. This is actually made by the Grand Floridian Bakery. Look at the detail of that. That is just absolutely stunning. Amazing. And again, this is kind of the bottom view of this whole lobby here. As we make our way around this gingerbread house, I want you to look at all of the detailing here. All of this is hand done by real gingerbread. It is edible. As you can see right there, there are hidden Mickeys all over this gingerbread house. I believe someone said there were 24. It kind of gave us something to do, trying to find them and count them as we waited in line, because this is not just for viewing. As you can see right here in this window, they are using this gingerbread house to work out of. They are selling baked goods out of this gingerbread house. So although it's lovely to look at, it is being used. Right here, this little bumblebee with a little QR code, if you scan that with your phone, it will take you to a YouTube video where you can see them constructing this gingerbread house. This is the Grand Floridian. Of course, this is not going to be an ordinary everyday gingerbread house. It's going to be over the top. It's going to be massive. It's going to fit with the theming with the rest of the resort. I want you to just take a few final moments and look at this and just take it in, experience it, and enjoy it. As we were there, this newlywed couple were taking some wedding shots here right in the lobby. Where else could you get pictures like that? But we couldn't stay there too long. We just have to move along. So again, our best mode of transportation is hopping this monorail.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us aboard Monorail at the beach. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. If you are standing, please hold on to the handrails and do not leave us. We are half full. Thank you, and once again, welcome aboard.
I mentioned earlier, this monorail system does put it into perspective how close everything is to each other. We started out at the Polynesian, just about a minute and a half to 2 minute ride. We were at the Grand Floridian. Now another minute and a half, 2 minutes, if that. We are going to be at the Magic Kingdom Depot. Now this takes you straight to the gate of the Magic Kingdom, not the parking lot where you then have to hop either a boat or another monorail. Once you're in this bubble, it's going to take you straight there. We are not going to get off of here. This is not our stop. We're going to go right through this station, stay on the monorail, because we are needing to go to the Contemporary Resort. Apparent by the rain that you can see here on the windows, it did start to rain during our resort hopping trip, but that's not to, don't worry, we absolutely were fine. We actually made out really well with the weather on this trip. The few times that it was raining, we were indoors for whatever reason, be it that we were eating or such as this right now where we were on the monorail. So we got out of there extremely lucky. I did not get rained on. I did have some other people in the party that I was with who did, because they chose to go somewhere else. But overall, we were extremely lucky with the weather. One of the perks of staying at the Contemporary is that this monorail goes right through the resort. As you can see here, the monorail is right here on this kind of second level of the resort. Don't worry, it's very safe, it's gated, everything is very secure. But it's right there. All you need to do is come downstairs from your room, hop the monorail, and go to whichever park you're trying to go to for that day. If for some reason there's bad weather, just hop that monorail and come right back to your room. Spend some time there. Didn't have a reservation for Chef Mickey's, we were able to go up and just do a walk in and get in within a few minutes. One of the things that I was looking forward to was this Mickey waffle, and they also have this celebration drink where it's kind of like a bath bomb.
Hi! Hello, thank you.
This was my first character interaction, so not only did I get Chef Minnie, I got Chef Goofy. I was able to get a pic with Chef Pluto and the one and only himself, Chef Mickey. Yes, Mickey was a hoot. I absolutely adored him. Not only this Mickey, but the Mickey in other places as well. Check out their version of their gingerbread house. They also had this 50th anniversary kind of backdrop, so of course we had to grab a picture before hopping back on that monorail. Now we are headed to the transportation depot. Once at the transportation depot, we're going to get off of this monorail to get onto another monorail that will take you to Epcot. Epcot is a little bit further out. None of these kind of bubble monorails right here in this one section will take you to Epcot. That's why we had to jump another one. This wrapping right here that you see on the outside is what is causing this kind of grainy look to this video, so I do apologize for that. But again, this is going to be the longest stretch of monorail. The other resorts, again, were very close in proximity to each other, so you were only on the monorail a few minutes. If I remember correctly, going from the Contemporary to the depot, getting off and going to Epcot, kind of from the transportation depot to Epcot, I think was about a 6-minute monorail ride. But as you can see right here, we pretty much paced and kept up with this bus right here. I found that pretty interesting because it felt like we were just chugging along. One thing, again, I will say it every time. Take Disney transportation. This was so easy. You didn't have to worry about traffic. There were a few times where we had to drive while on this trip, and it wasn't fun. It was not fun at all. So yes, while your resort is going to probably be more expensive than staying somewhere else, no doubt, it is invaluable when it comes to the Disney transportation that you are allowed when staying at one of these resorts. You don't have to worry about parking. Once you've parked at the resort, you don't have to worry about traffic. I mean, right here, you're on the monorail and you're pretty much the only monorail. And I think we had to stop a little bit up ahead to make room for another one. But there's no traffic. You don't have to worry about people honking their horns or any kind of road rage. You're just on your trip. And like I said, it was about a 6-minute trip. So not bad at all. And did I mention these monorails are air conditioned? And if you are lucky enough to get a seat after a long day in the park, you are going to want that seat to get off your feet. You're going to want this AC, or as in our case, in the latter part of our trip, the heater. Yes, the heater. So yeah, they're climate controlled and you're getting an opportunity to get off your feet. These rides also give you the opportunity to get a little bit more of a bird's eye view of some of the resorts. Especially at night, if you take a monorail, sometimes you can see more lighting, especially this time of year because they had a lot of Christmas lights up. You could see, I think it was like a night water parade that was all lit up. You get all of that from up here because you're higher than everything else. So just enjoy these rides and you might actually end up seeing something that you didn't think you'd see. Now this is the second part of our monorail ride, and right here you can see the Epcot ball. One of the amazing things about this ride is that it takes you right behind the Epcot ball. From what I've heard, it hasn't always been that way, so you get an up close viewing of this, and then look at this whole park right here. You get this whole view from the monorail. Our goal here, once we got to Epcot, was to then take a bus to Disney Springs, but that doesn't exist. But there is a way around it. So what you're going to do is when you're in Epcot, you want to take a bus to the French Quarter. Once you are at the French Quarter, you can then hop a bus to Disney Springs. Yep, there is a way to do it. It's not a direct line. There is kind of a loophole to that. So just go to the French Quarter on a bus, and then from there you can go to Disney Springs on a different bus. Disney Springs is a whole nother animal. For me, Disney Springs is kind of next level, elevated mall, kind of strip mall sort of thing. While it was beautiful, decorated nicely, there was a lot going on in Disney Springs. There are so many stores, there are so many people. Parking was insane. If given the choice, I want to take Disney transportation if I ever go to Disney Springs again. I think part of its appeal though is that there's something for everyone. The Lego store had these insane sculptures that you could see here that are completely made from Legos. They had a Coca-Cola store that was 3 stories tall. The first one kind of had just, merchandise that you can see here, shirts, hoodies, stuffed animals, a little bit of everything. Just when you thought that you saw it all, you go up to the second floor and there was even more. Like this purse here that has been made from the plastic wrappings off of Coca-Cola bottles. That was pretty cool. I like that recycling. But you had figurines. You also had these kind of money saving banks. And then there was also an opportunity to get a picture with the polar bear. I will say the Coca-Cola company here, they had a lot of theming with the old polar bear Coca-Cola. You saw the polar bear everywhere. That was kind of cool. And then you had this wall here. All of these are like tumblers and mugs. And then the top is kind of like a terrace bar kind of thing. Then on our last day, we actually went to the Rainforest Cafe. Now this place was crowded, it was loud, it was dark. We were tired by this point. We all, I think, were just kind of wrung out, wanting to sleep, take a nap, take it easy. But little did we know this was fixing to happen. Say that this chicken sandwich was pretty amazing though. And we also went to Ghirardelli's for a little treat. I actually got a banana milkshake that was amazing. This was just day 1.